So Attack on Titan, the final season will be continuing, it's been said, this winter. Now that's a little bit up in the air what this winter means, because if we're going by anime seasons, that means January, February, March. But at the same time, for NHK, that could be December for them, right? Because if we remember back when the final season was originally announced for fall started at the beginning of December, right? Either way, we're getting more episodes. Episode 76 and more have been confirmed, which is no surprise that it was getting more. It was just a matter of would they do movies or would they do another part 2? And I think most people are probably very happy for the part 2 TV-wise, because that means you'll be able to watch it weekly and not have to wait for and kind of dodge all the spoilers online. The good news about this is that it's been rumored for quite some time that the sequel or the continuation of the final season has been in development since like last October. So it seems like not only are we getting it in a pretty timely manner, it seems like it should be like a 1.5 year production time to be able to at the very least get the first episode. So it's looking like the schedule should be a lot more better. If we get it in January, February, March, even better. If we get it at the end of December or the beginning of December, same thing. We should be in pretty good hands. I mean, Mappa did wonders with 9 to 12 months to make this season, and honestly, they did a great job. So having a bit better of a schedule for a very action-packed part 2, what I wanted to see. I've been teasing it for a little bit here without going into specifics, but I said episode 16 of season 4 would be a very satisfying, but it would still have a cliffhanger, but it was a really great way to bring it all together, and that's Reiner. Reiner starts the season off looking down from a blimp, and he ends the season looking down from a blimp. 2 different attacks, and once again bringing it right back to Reiner destroying the walls, right? But in a very different way. And I thought for this episode being a lot of dialogue, a lot of drama, I mean, there was drama galore. You start off basically with Zeke pretty much dead. He's got a bit of life left in him. In comes a Titan, rips its stomach open and shoves our boy in there. What's that mean? Is it trying to protect him? Is it trying to consume him in a weird new Titan-like way, right? Definitely gets your mind racing, as you're also saying, well, we saw how bad Zeke was, and he has regeneration abilities. What the hell happened to Levi, right? And you're gonna have to wait for the continuation to see that. I love how this episode was really trying to say, you know, there's been a lot of battles, there's been a lot of setup, but this is the setup to the very last battle. You introduce Peak, right? Peak drawing guns on Eren, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, yeah, I know the manga, but my original thought was, oh my god, she's got a gun pointed to Eren, and I know Eren's gonna call her bluff. And he does. He really says, there's no way you're gonna be allowed to kill me, and also at the same time, you ain't got shit on me. And she really didn't. And I like how originally when you read these chapters in the manga, you have that monthly break, but I love how combined into an episode like this, where you finally get to see things where, like, instead of just like getting the gun drawn at the last panel of a month's chapter, you wait thinking, what's gonna happen? Seeing it in just one fluid motion and watching you honestly probably assume that she's probably telling the truth. At least that's not how I originally thought it. At first, I was like, there's definitely a chance of betrayal, but at the same time, what she's saying makes total sense about how, you know, unfortunately, no matter what, you are Eldian, you are subjects of Ymir, and eventually there will come a point where the power of the Titans aren't enough to keep Marley safe, and Marley will dispose of us, so we have to find a different solution. Though around the time where she's putting her hands up in the staircase there, and, you know, the soldiers are blushing, that's where, like, the red flag started to go, at least for me when I originally read it, as well as just watching the episode. They did a great job at having Eren once again showcase just not only how great his voice actor is, but how he is so cool, calm, and collected at the face of literally everything. This is a man who willingly put his head up against a gun barrel, knowing damn well that nothing can happen because you need to keep me alive because you don't know where the founder will go after I'm dead. You have to have it be consumed. And I love how him, you know, at every moment, he is ready to transform. Even when he heals his fingertip when they're walking, before obviously the whole like, oh my god, the Jaw Titan has come for revenge and takes a bite out of our boy's legs, his finger's ripped and ready to transform. It's bleeding. You can see it behind his back. And I love how, like, the build-up to showing that she was never going to betray her people, and even if she doesn't really trust in Marley, she trusts in her comrades and her friends. It's a great way to show you both sides really just so collected in what they're doing. And with that attack, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people were shitting their pants when Eren got nabbed. It's kind of reminiscent, I think, of Season 1 really early on, where before you realize Eren's going to transform into a Titan, you see him rip Armin from, you know, Santa Claus Titan's mouth and gets consumed. It's very reminiscent to that, except a lot more fast and brutal, and you're like, holy shit, it is a good thing that they got the bottom half of the bite, not the top half, because that would have been game over. But I love how they really just, they give you that teaser. Yes, they give you a cliffhanger, but honestly, I'm gonna say this. If this cliffhanger bothers you, it could have been so much worse. If we would have had an 18 episode season, it would have been a billion times worse. I really feel like this is the optimal cliffhanger to leave you off for a year's time, right? Yeah, you're all going to be coming back to watching the next part of the final season. And most likely they're going to call it part 2, similar to how they had season 3, part 1 and 2, though there has been the iffy like, oh, because they're just continuing with episode 76, that means that it's just going to continue being the final season. On the official website, they do list part 2, so it's probably going to be final season part 2. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're getting more anime. We're getting the full thing adapted in a timely manner with a lot better of a schedule. Isayama's dream, and I mean, you can actually look up a lot of interviews with the man. Isayama, in a lot of ways, considers the anime to be the final product, so there's no way he wouldn't let this thing finish in a good way. Obviously, not all authors have that much say in anime production, but Isayama has always had a very hands-on approach by having things be changed, or how, you know, he would talk with the voice actors and things. This is very much a passion project, and I'm very excited to see it, you know, the best part, arguably, come into the anime realm, and with a better schedule by the looks of it, this should be in good hands. I just love the drama. I love Yelena just casually talking to everyone, shooting people, talking shit about Sasha, because we can't have that chaos around these characters. But then you have Armin's just absolute breakdown scene to listening to what Zeke and Eren's plan is. And this is an interesting one because I remember for a long time, because the chapters are released monthly, people speculating out the ass. Is that actually how he feels? Is he actually moved? Is he lying? What is going on? And I remember not being able to pick a side on that theory. I was so shocked by Armin's reaction that I could see 2 very likely possibilities happening. But to just see the satisfaction on Yelena's face when Armin is like, that's beautiful and touching, it's just kind of insane to see just like how indoctrinated people have truly become on Zeke and Eren's plan. Most importantly, someone like Yelena, or even Flocked as a great example, basically looking at them as gods and, you know, they can do no wrong. Though I can safely say, for a cult-like plan, what they're saying is actually kind of foolproof if you think about it. The idea that, sure, by having sterilization, you can't have kids. Eventually there will come a point where the last living people will be in their 80s and having no way to protect themselves. But the rumbling will be a constant threat to them until ultimately their demise. So they'll have to pass down the royal blood and obviously the founding titan to 2 different people. Obviously the beast titan to Historia's kids, and obviously whoever inherits Eren's titan. It'll be a way to constantly keep them at bay because the threat of the rumbling, all those titans in the walls that surround Paradise Island would come and knocking on your door, and you don't want that. So what they're saying is not just like a crazy cult being like, oh, Zeke and Eren are our gods and saviors. They're saying Zeke and Eren are our god and saviors, and this plan is beautiful, and here's how they're going to keep it working. But you also have the question, is that actually what's going to happen, right? Because you just don't know anymore. Attack on Titan has always had you ask, is this all that meets the eye? And I mean, in this episode, I mean, John himself says, you know, if Eren is fully sane of mind, there's probably more than meets the eye. But at the same time, I mean, Eren is literally pointing guns towards his head with no ounce of fear in his eyes. Is he sane in the mind, or is he calling someone else's bluff? I've read the manga. Please don't spoil it for other people in the comments section. I keep it spoiler-free to what has been revealed in the episodes, not what has happened in the manga chapters that have yet to be adapted. The final season is without a doubt the best part of Attack on Titan, and where it goes after this with episode 17 or 76 is going to be insane, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. They have a little teaser trailer for part 2, which looks great, has my mind racing on how it's going to look, and I think it's going to look really, really well, especially for a certain aspect that's going to be brought up very, very soon. Overall, I was jumping for joy this episode. I was happy, I was excited, and you know, when you wake up and the first thing I did, I woke up, I went to Reddit, checked r/anime, r/Shingeki no Kyojin. I wanted to see, was part 2 announced? And it was, and I was very, very happy because that's what I wanted to see. And I'm really excited to see how the next probably 16 episodes will go. Granted, the next set of chapters are very action-packed, so may not necessarily need 16 episodes, may do 13. Either way, I kind of have the assumption that it'll be a 16-episode season very similar to what we saw here, but I guess time will tell. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on the cliffhanger, what was revealed in this episode, and where do you think it might go with episode 76 9 months or 12 months down the line from now. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't been around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.